Hello, everyone. Broadcasting live. It's January 7th, 2016. With me tonight is Robin. We're broadcasting live. So if you have questions, you come on over to meditation.sirimangalo.org and you can ask them there. No, we're not answering questions on YouTube. Today we had a meeting of the McMaster Buddhism Association Executive. So our plan is to going to have meetings weekly. And just a second, I have to turn this stuff off. I forgot. Right. Okay, we're good. So we're going to have meetings to get to know people, to bring people together. Maybe we'll give some teaching on Buddhism during the meeting. And we talked about these 5-minute meditation lessons in the table. Have to put the banner up. Robin, I'm sorry, but something that order went all wrong because I've got rope and I've got a banner and there's no way to connect the two together.
There's no grommets or anything.
No. Like when I did a mock order and went through it, it asked me if I wanted grommets or sticky things.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't get that?
So did you pick the sticky things then?
I mean, I didn't order it.
Okay, I didn't design the order, I just submitted it.
Oh, and when you submitted it didn't ask you if you wanted grommets?
No, it just asked if we wanted rope or zip ties. So
Maybe I missed something.
Can you just cut little holes in it? Or would it rip? Is it kind of thin?
No, it doesn't really work that way. The best thing is to punch holes and make grommets. Get grommets. Maybe we should do that. Probably what I was going to do is just use duct tape to fasten it to the poles.
We can check on the website and see if it can be sent back and fixed to have the grommets put into it. Or the sticky things, either.
Fine for next Tuesday.
No, you'll have to use duct tape.
Maybe we can go to the hardware store and get some grommets.
Seems possible. Or like the Velcro sticky things on the back. But you don't have Velcro on the walls at the university, so.
Well, that's interesting, but yeah. No. It's going to be in front of a window, actually.
Oh.
Probably.
Maybe a big dowel, a long dowel.
What does that do?
Well, if you had a dowel, I don't know how long the banner is, but if you had a dowel, you could sew it onto it, and then it would be like a stick. You put a string on it, and you could hang it.
Sew it with needle. Yeah, I think I'll use duct tape.
Duct tape sounds good.
questions tonight?
We have questions. There's a question about music, your opinion about music in relation to Buddhism, but one of the other meditators pointed the questioner to the video wiki. So did you want to just leave it at that?
I don't know. Have I done videos on music?
Yes.
Okay, let's leave it at that.
Is it possible that someone in meditation who has eliminated all desire could be so absolutely immersed in mindfulness of what things are that he dies dehydrated for not drinking water? Do you know of any case in which this has happened?
Is this a person who's meditated with us?
Yes, quite a bit.
I mean, it sounds like a bit of a misunderstanding of what mindfulness is, but maybe not. I mean, okay. It's not really mindfulness that you're talking about. It's because mindfulness can involve all of these awarenesses. It's more like focus, which, can come from mindfulness, can come from mindfulness practice. I don't think so. Mindfulness brings you into the present moment. I mean, just off the cuff, I think technically I get what you're saying, but really practically speaking, it's not the way it goes. I don't have the technical aspect of why it is so, but the meditator is far more aware of the wants and needs of the body. Now, they might consciously choose to ignore them, but they wouldn't suddenly say, oh, I'm dehydrated and I didn't know it because I was just experiencing it as sensations or something. That would require intense concentration that I don't think is really a part of insight. So mindfulness really helps you. You're super conscious of the fact that there's the dehydration going on. All the aspects of knowing that it's you being dehydrated are all still likely to be there. But it's just a knowledge of the concepts in the mind. And those concepts could be absent, but I don't think they're more likely to be absent just because you know. I don't think it goes to that extent in most cases. I think of intervening as possible. On the other hand, why the heck are you asking such a question?
I have been wanting to go down the path of a Buddhist monk for years now. I have even planned to go to Nepal to travel and learn the best I could before becoming a monk. There is one thing troubling me, though, is a relationship with another person and having children. I'm not with anybody. I'm just scared of getting it to a relationship and then later in life hurting that person because I would like to leave and do as I wished before I become a monk. I don't know if I'm overthinking this or not. This has been on my mind and I'm having troubles accepting it in meditation.
I don't quite understand, but I think it's like you're afraid of getting into a relationship because you might become a monk. Is that right? I mean, it's not really. I don't know what I have to say to you. I mean, so don't get into a relationship. I mean, what can I do for you? If you mean like having trouble because you want to get into a relationship, but you also want to become a monk, well, good luck. Probably you won't become a monk. It's easy to want to become a monk. It's not easy to actually do it.
This is a question actually asked to me. From Ryan, I looked on Expedia today, and round trip tickets from Toronto to Bangkok start at around $1,000. So, with that being said, what do we need to do to get the ball rolling to buy Bante a ticket to see Ajahn Tong? Is it just as simple as setting up another You Caring campaign? Let me know whatever I can do to help. It is and it isn't simple, only in the timing of it. As many of you know, the organization rented a house in September to set up for a monastery and meditation center. And we did a fundraising drive which provided funds for about 9 months of operation at the monastery, which was wonderful. But it's not enough to keep the monastery going perpetually. So we actually had planned for February to do another fundraising campaign to judge continued support of the monastery and meditation center to see if it can keep going, perpetually. And that's really crucial because, it was wonderful, the initial support, but what's crucial is whether there's enough support to keep it going. So that's kind of what the organization was gearing up to do another fundraising drive for the monastery and meditation center. So, while the trip sounds wonderful, it's just the timing of it is a little bit premature. After we do the second fundraising campaign and see if there is continued support to keep the monastery and meditation center going, then that would be a great time to talk about extra things like a trip to Asia, which it would obviously be a wonderful thing for Bante to go see his teacher and receive the blessing and everything. It's just a little bit premature at this point, I think. But it's certainly not up to me. It's a joint decision with the directors of Sri Manglo International, which includes Bante, so he can certainly chime in on that too.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about those things. Leave it to you. Thank you.
All things in good time. We just need maybe just a little bit of patience right now to see, what sort of support is available as continued support for the monastery and meditation center. We'll be rolling that out in a couple of weeks. We had planned it as a fall campaign and a spring campaign. The spring campaign beginning in February in a couple of weeks.
I guess I'd just say that it's hard to rationalize it. Flinging yourself across from one end of the earth to the other. And the purpose isn't, it's not like my teacher doesn't know about this monastery, doesn't know what I'm doing. I'm sure he'd like me to come. I would like to go, but doesn't really seem worth the difficulty, worth the trouble, especially when we have other troubles here or challenges here that we're facing.
We actually don't know if we have troubles or challenges. Your supporters, your followers are very generous. We simply haven't asked what the setup for our fundraising campaign. It was a limited online campaign. There's always a support page at the website, surimanglo.org, but that doesn't tend to be something that people think of very often. So while there's always an opportunity to give support, not many people actually go to the support page at the surimanglo.org website. So based on that, we're just a little concerned because there hasn't been much support in the past couple of months, but we didn't have an active fundraising campaign that was kind of out there and being promoted to ask people. So we don't know that there's a problem. There could be no problem. A month from now, the monastery could be funded for another 6 months and all is well. And I'm sure the organization would really like to send you to Asia to see Ajahn Tong. It's just a little bit, timing.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to go. I said that I wasn't planning to go to Asia in the near future. This kind of came up. Also, there's might be half or partly paid for. That would change things, I suppose.
Yeah, that would change things quite a bit because that would make it, a very affordable way to go over and see your teacher, which would be wonderful.
Right. So there's that. That's a good reason. If I got this opportunity where half of it's going to be paid for, well,
yeah,
better than waiting until we have to pay for all of it.
Right? Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I don't want to talk about money stuff too much. People think we're That's what our focus is. It's not. Anyway, looks like that's it, right?
Yes.
Because we did Dhammapada tonight, so that's going to go up. Otherwise, I think Saturday I'll try to do the Buddhism 101 videos. So I have to look and see where I left off many years ago and pick that up where we left off. Try and get through that. I kind of left off because I was having trouble figuring out how to address it from a modern perspective. I think the next one is talking about heaven, which I have to study it a little bit and try and get a grasp of exactly what concept the Buddha is trying to pass on, and how to translate the modern viewers such that, because most people aren't thinking too much about heaven. So how far do we want to take it? How can we focus on the idea of heaven as a part of Buddhism? I think so, to some extent. But I want to bring in a bigger context. I think karma. I think the next one is going to be about karma. About the results of our good deeds. And why should we do that? Okay. Good night, everyone. Thank you, Robin, for tuning in. Thanks, Robin, for your help.
Thank you, Bante.
Good night.
Good night.